What is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another Break the Chains media episode. Today is Tyranny Response Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. I'm your host, Corey. We are jumping right into it. We have got some just explosive and fun, exciting, just very friendly faces that we're about to just go over and just hear everything that happened over the weekend. I don't know if you were aware. I don't know if you were watching some of my other posts on my other socials, but holy cow, did I have a weekend. And the Denver Communists did as well. Drip Cafe did as well. We've got a lot to talk about because, folks, I know the culture war is here. It's among us. It is within our grasp. We are living it. We are about it. We are in it, but not of it, if that makes any sense, because you have to rise up and above to understand the what time it is, right? What time is it? Because understanding these strategies, understanding these tactics, understanding the division that happens within our own society, within our own culture, understanding that we are moving into midterms and things are ramping up, things are heating up. So of course, without question, these bubbling up, if you will, I don't know, the bubbling up of animosity, of aggression, of incitement, all these things come to mind when we're talking about politics and culture and the movement forward and what we need to do in a society that does not accept communist practice, radical socialist ideas, and understand that there is a lot to be had when we talk about financial and fiscal responsibility. Understand that, yes, Colorado and the rest of the United States, we do have a mixed economy. We do have social programs that we work for. But when we're talking about the outright abolition of police and borders and the Senate and just the destruction of our foundation, of our government, these are the Denver Communists. This is their strategy. They want to destroy and anything, they want to control everything. And if they can't control it, they're going to destroy it. So, with that being said, we've got some great footage from me on First Friday down at Santa Fe Art Walk, going over all that. And I know some of us might have seen it, but for those that haven't, this is the live stream for you. This is Break the Chains Media. We do live streams whenever we can, and it's been busy. Lots of things are happening, so whenever you can catch me on YouTube, on Rumble, or on X, this is the live stream for you to break down everything that's happening in Colorado politics, in the news, in the local area here, and not just with the culture war, not just with this social uprising between these radical leftists and sane individuals, but we do talk about Colorado policies like in city council, like legislation issues, gun rights issues, trans ideology issues. We cover all the things here on Break the Chains Media. So if you like seeing that, if you want to be a part of that, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel, be a part of the chain breakers here on Break the Chains Media, because if you want to get the information that is not being put out in public in the regular, if you don't want to listen to Kyle Clark and talk about propaganda, listening to Kyle Clark will only get you so far. Am I right? Am I right? Gandalf, what do you got to say to Kyle Clark? What do you got to say to that, okay? Gandalf knows. Gandalf knows. We're all pissed. We're all sick of Kyle Clark's propaganda. That's why I'm here, to bring you the news, to bring you the information that you need most in Colorado and in the area that matters most, right? We've got to move the needle, and the best way to move the needle is to get active in your local politics and get active in your local community. You can go over to breakthechains.media. That is the website. That is the landing page to find all the social medias here: Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, along with the Rumble link here. And on the top here, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support my work and do appreciate what I do, Realm Walker Hot Sauce. Travel the 9 realms of Norse mythology through hot sauce. Handmade, hand-bottled, homemade from yours truly, right here, Realm Walker Hot Sauce. I grow the peppers myself, and I make the hot sauce to order. Very small batch, very local. all for you. The most fantastic flavors traveling the 9 realms of Norse mythology. Check out all the flavors here on breakthechains.media. You can follow Realm Walker Hot Sauce on Instagram at Realm Walker Hot Sauce if you feel like supporting the channel. 5 different flavors available right now. It's all small batch, so sometimes you got to wait a few weeks, got to wait a few months to get it, because I am growing the peppers right now as we speak. So, but I'll tell you what, it is the best hot sauce you'll ever have. Have no fear. Realm Walker Hot Sauce is here. But without further ado, we are jumping right into it, folks. Smash that thumbs up button, be a part of the Chain Breakers, and share this with everyone in Colorado who wants to know a little bit more about what's happening in their local community, because this isn't a fairy tale, folks. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't made up. The Denver Communists are real. They are a activist front, a radical activist front that uses their platform to train and educate radical ideologues into the behaviors that we saw that I filmed on Friday night. These are typical street protest actions that take place from the Denver Communists, okay? And these people, they are one and the same when it comes to Antifa, right? This amorphous term, we call it Antifa, right? Everyone hears the word Antifa and we go, what is that? What's going on? Well, folks, the Denver Communists use Antifa, the black bloc protest, right? These people that wear all black, that are faceless, maskless, whatever it is, but they want to incite a reaction from you so that they can record your reaction to their insane behaviors. And what I did on Friday night was a prime example of how to effectively address their insanity. And we are going to get into that right here, right now. I got Jeff Benjamin on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I see your post on X and it looked insane. Folks, it was actually insane, but it's nothing that I wasn't expecting, right? This is the behavior of them. I knew exactly well aware of what their strategy was, what their agenda was, and how they were trying to get under my skin, right? And we are going to get into that. And this beautiful figure here, this is Jason. Good old Jason, right? We got a lot of fun stuff coming your way about this character right here. His name is Jason, and I'll tell you what, we got some fun stuff coming your way regarding this man right here, because I'm just pulling it up right now because it is in some of my So Jason is the leader, or I don't know how their upper echelons of power structure work, but Jason is a professor at one of the local universities here. And he's got a very interesting track record and a very interesting history. And I think you're going to want to hear a little bit more about our buddy Jason and what we have in store. Because, you know, it's just unacceptable to see this kind of behavior running the streets. And we have to understand that they have an agenda. They want to destroy everything in our nation and in our country and in our state. But without further ado, we are going to jump right into it. I don't know if the YouTube lords or the or if we're going to be censored or anything for this, because got a lot of expletives. So we'll just see what we can get off of YouTube, because I want to show you some of the videos we have here. Let's see what we have. I don't want to blow your speakers out here though, but let's take a look here at what we have. This is one of the instances of these individuals. So let's take a listen. This is just one of these crazy Denver communists that are protesting the Drip Cafe, folks. These are active protesters standing in front of the Drip Cafe coffee shop, because Drip Cafe is a Christian-run coffee shop. They have a ministry, and they work with homeless. They try to get people off the street. They try to get people jobs. And for upwards of 3 years now, these communists want to boycott this company and shut them down because of their beliefs, because of how they operate. And let's just take a listen at how they approach and how they address us when we show up to the Drip Cafe.
Fuck you, nuts! Fuck all your little nuts! Hey, yeah, you and your trolling nerd shirt. Check out my Empire Association.
Yeah, so absolutely unhinged. That's just one clip of many that I'm about to be showing you. But we've got some other individuals here. You know, this good old boy. Let me pull it up here because I got a picture. I got a picture of him. Just to show you what is going on here. What is going on here? All right. So we've got our good friend here. This sweet little cherub, right? I mean, what a smiling face. What a beautiful individual, right? Oh my gosh, how lovely. He's just so happy to be here. So happy to be protesting a small business wearing the Hail Gay Satan shirt. And I show up and I ask him some simple questions about his shirt. You know, tries to make a big stink about it. Tries to get all tough with me, right? Let's take a listen.
Yeah. Is that Baphomet?
Sure.
Yeah, no, it is Baphomet.
Cool.
Yeah, the first transgender, right?
I have no idea.
You don't, but you're wearing the shirt, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Santa Fe Art Walk. Got our friends over in the back there. So let's go say hi. First Friday Art Walk.
Like,
Yeah. How you doing? Nice shirt.
Yeah.
Is that Baphomet?
Sure.
Yeah, no, it is Baphomet.
Cool.
Yeah, the first transgender, right?
I have no idea.
You don't, but you're wearing the shirt, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Your name, Paul, is it?
No.
Jason.
No.
No?
That's me again. If I get that hand back.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
oh.
apologies, but you know, good to see you out here again.
All right, what am I doing?
And he tells me to run. He thinks I'm running away from him, you know. And this is the thing. I went in here not to instigate, not to provoke, but they see me, right? They track me. They know who I am. Therefore, they fill up their own little rage balloon, and they show up. So they have to get in my face. They have to do something about it because they see me, because they know I'm gonna directly contradict everything that they're doing and everything that they're standing for. So they have to just stand up against me and what I'm doing. And it's not just me, folks. Understand that there are many individuals in Colorado and across the state who have been showing up and supporting this cafe. So I'm not the first one. I'm not taking any credit for being an individual that shows up. Like there's, I believe her name is Angela. She showed up to Drift Cafe. She's got a huge platform. She did an expose on this as well. I'm doing it. A lot of other individuals who follow and work with Jamie, the owner of Drip Cafe, have shown up and shown support. A lot of people have bought stuff online. So there's a lot of good people showing up and supporting this cafe in the direct opposition to these active, hate-filled campaign communists that show up. I mean, look at this, folks. We literally... Let's just take a beat. Let's really just like take in this entire photo, right? We have someone. First of all, obviously, we see the clown in the front. However, but one of the things that I see right off the rip is they wrote on the wall of the Drip Cafe building, Drip Cafe Bigot Run, in chalk. So right there, you could argue that's vandalism right there. They wrote on the side of the building that they were bigots. Okay, then they're standing in front of this coffee shop, giving individuals the middle finger. A ridiculous clown showing up, like. You can't make this stuff up. This is straight out of a freaking comic book reel, right? You've got a commie. You have a commie clown standing in front of a coffee shop that's ran by Christians to protest their position. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And of course, you know me, you know where I come from. To merely be anti-communist is not enough. We must actively be anti-communist in order to save this country and this state. Right? Shout out to that, you know. There we go. That's a treasure chest for you, folks. That's a treasure chest for you. Who else we got in the chat right now? I'm going to have to find this cafe, give them some support. Absolutely, Jeff Benjamin. It is down off of 8th and Santa Fe. 8th and Santa Fe. Let me fix my hair because you gotta look good when you're on a live stream, right? You gotta look good when you're on the live stream. Yes, Jeff, it is on 8th and Santa Fe. The Drip Cafe. They have the website. I'm actually just gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, sure. That's it. We're going to do this. We're going to bring this right over here. So, yeah. Dripcoffee.cafe is their website. Cafe on Santa Fe. So, Drip Cafe, if you want to support the coffee shop that's being protested by these Denver communists that want to destroy small business, that want to, they're completely anti-Christian. They want to shut down this cafe. So if you want to support them, you can buy the coffee online. You can go in person and pick up a coffee. They got food. They got breakfast stuff. The Drip Cafe, downtown Denver, off of 8th and Santa Fe. But yes, we have to be actively anti-communist. You don't, like I said, you don't have to go downtown, but you can always support them online. But you got some of these other crazy people getting in my face. Absolutely, their whole intention, right? This is their whole intention, right? Their whole intention. Like, let me see here. Let's look at this very sweet and loving individual, right? They're just radiating with diversity and inclusion, right? These communists, these radical leftists are radiating with love and respect and tolerance, right? Take a listen.
Put your camera down, you fucking Nazi! Put your camera down, you fucking Nazi!
You got this guy in all black. Oop,
Hi.
Get the fuck away.
How are you?
Fuck you.
How are you doing?
Fuck you.
Are you good? Are you okay?
Fuck you.
Do you enjoy being here right now?
Fuck you.
Is this like a fun Friday night for you?
Fuck you.
Okay. I mean, like,
Go rotten shit.
that's not my.
Honey, I can tell.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, like, that's not how I roll. I don't play that side of the fence. I am not interested in the transgender individuals. That's just not, my forte. I like a brunette personally. I personally like a beautiful brunette woman, anywhere from like 28 to 45 years old. Who has a well-rounded mind on her shoulders, who has a success plan, who wants to start a family. Like that's what I'm into. Not this gutter goblin, waste of space, trash dog just completely throwing insults and harassing me, right? Not interested in you, sweetheart. Sorry. This is literally one of those pot-bellied goblins that Alex Jones warned us about a long time ago. They literally crawl out of under rocks, right? And this is one of the Trantifa individuals, that just love spouting hate. So let's keep listening.
All your fucked up tattoos. You're a little white supremacist fucking piece of shit. So why don't you roll on out of here?
You have no idea who I am.
I know by every one of those symbols because I'm a fucking white witch pagan. And guess what? You're wearing and covered in white supremacy ink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've examined me from head to toe.
Bye.
No, I'm just hanging out here on the street.
You can stand here all you want. I'm just going to continue to tell you to go fuck
Who's
yourself.
this guy? Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
All these like fucking just you're just screaming. Fucking white power.
Fucking right, bro. I'm in your top.
Look at how crazy they are, man. Yeah, these people are absolutely insane, off the rails, medicated, indoctrinated, and just given this entire, they've been fed this entire line of lies about capitalism and about how communism is good and destroying, Christian businesses, destroying, like, they want to see all of Christianity destroyed. And this is the big thing, right? This is the big thing that we have to address, right? And you can find the rest of these videos. I'm gonna show a couple more of these videos in just a minute. But this is the larger angle that I'm trying to address to people, is that communism is not the enemy in the long run, right? The long run enemy is radical Islam. Okay? You can take that to the bank. The radical Islamists have co-opted this anti-American movement that has been propped up by the DSA, by these Democrat socialists, and by these radical communists who want to destroy our institutions here in America. Okay? And they want to destroy these They want to destroy these institutions because in order for them to achieve their goal, they have to destroy the family. They have to destroy small business. They have to destroy Christianity. They have to destroy private property. All of these things are fundamentally ingrained into the communist ideology, into the Marxist lens that Karl Marx espoused years ago, right? And these individuals are using their mechanisms of hate, intimidation, and incitement to violence and harassment campaigns to fuel this further civil war within our country, because there are sane people who say, no, enough is enough. We're not taking your crazy cockamamie agendas, your crazy schemes of power and control and manipulation of young minds who are easily manipulated when they can't achieve anything, when they can't find a job, when they can't afford anything, when they can't buy a home, when they can't start a family. So a lot of these people fall into this trap of communism, of socialism, of saying, I'm going to take from you what I can't get myself. I'm going to take from you because the market does not provide for me. You know, this conversation of late stage capitalism and how it's fundamentally evil, right? These are the problems that have been built and established and entrenched in our universities and in our younger institutions of young minds, right? So these people are lost in their way. And that actually is the resounding message we get from the Drip Cafe, right? The Drip Cafe comes from a place of love. They want to show these people that they're misguided in their efforts and in their attempts and in their thought process, right? And they want to show them that there is a better path forward, that there is a better way out of this. And the Drip Cafe leans into the Bible, leans into Christianity. And I think that's great. And everyone has their method of trying to bring truth to the conversation, right? My method of bringing truth to the conversation is using my First Amendment and standing up against these people and trying to expose their tactics and expose their strategy on how they try to weaponize their thought process against good people like myself and others, right? That is the problem. But let's keep going here. We got some more. What else? Who else we got in the chat here? I see Lav. I see Amethyst. Don Deceiver. Hello. Appreciate y'all being here. You guys all get a treasure chest. Thank you for being here, folks. Give you all a round of applause. Appreciate you hanging out in the stream. We got some other videos to show you. And, you know, like I said, you can find all of these other videos on my social medias, on Instagram, on my X account at Break the Chains M on X, as well as Break the Chains Media on Instagram. But this one here, We'll show you this one here because this is the one that actually like kind of took off. It's got a lot of views, got a lot of comments, but this is the one. This is the one that I wanted to show people, and then we're going to transition over to my interview that I was on with Jeff and Bill, the Jeff and Bill show, and just explaining to everyone, like, you know, what actually happened and what was actually going on. And it's we did an overview of it here, but let's keep going.
I'm literally just standing here. I'm literally just walking down the street. I'm walking down the street. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Look at this. This is all they do. This is all they do. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great.
Look at this.
Where would you like me to move? I'm in the street.
You're a fucking auditor. You ain't got no class. Your mom locked it up, shoved a hanger up it, but she didn't. Now we gotta deal with you stupid shit.
They have nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do.
Dude, this guy, this Mr. Drummer Boy. And then he throws his drumstick at me right here.
Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. You know what I should do? You know what I should do? Let's watch this.
Yeah, so you can watch the rest of that video, but holy cow, folks. This is exactly the kind of strategy that would get, and I saw the thousands of comments on my stream. I saw the thousands of comments, right? I had thousands of comments about people saying what they would do to these individuals if they were down there. And trust me, don't get me wrong. The people that would have stood up for themselves and actually like defended themselves and like fought back, whatever have you, I 100% agree with your sentiment, but I went down there on this explicit choice to not instigate, because this is the end goal, right? Their end goal, these communists' end goal, is to make you respond to their insane behaviors. And then they record you acting, quote unquote, violent against their peaceful protest, right? It's all about framing and it's all about narrative, right? They show up to a protest and they try to instigate individuals to responding to their harassment campaign. So I understand why some people might, throat punch an individual or, shove the whistle down his throat or whatever comments I saw on my social medias. And I applaud all those individuals for having their First Amendment to say whatever they feel like saying. However, I understand and I know their long-term strategy is to provoke, right? Which is why I showed up there with my camera rolling, not just my phone, but I had a body cam, and I showed up and I was as calm as a cucumber, as cool and collected as I could be, to make sure that my videos were the ones exposing their insane behaviors. And you let me know if I did a good job. You let me know in the comments. You let me know in the stream, because I believe that I did a bang-up job. I did a banger of a show when I showed up, and I made sure that everyone understands that these people are unhinged, they're unhealthy, they're medicated, they're dangerous. Yeah, I was not personally, right? On the Jeff and Bill show, they asked me, was I in fear of my life? Was I in fear of, attacks or assault? in my heart of hearts, I was not scared. I was not intimidated. I was not moved by any of this ridiculous behavior. I knew that I was safe. A, because I'm not a small little twig of a boy like this little drummer man here, but also I was in a very public place. I was recording everything, and I was not provoking them. So I was not in fear of my life. I made sure that they didn't get close to me as far as, like, you know, with their arms or with, you know, any sort of, like, manipulation of a device or anything like that. I don't think that that was an issue. But it just goes to show you that you have to be aware of your surroundings if and when you do show up to these things, and understand escape plans, understand strategy, understand, you know, positions to fall back to, whatever it is, right? But I truly didn't see these individuals as a threat. I saw them as a freak show, an absolute joke, an absolute buffoonery display of ridiculous nature that was ingrained to them by their stupid communist ideology, by their stupid modus operandi, that is to incite, intimidate, provoke, and harass individuals to capitulate to their agenda. If anyone's the fascist here, it's them. If anyone's trying to actually espouse some sort of coercive campaign to their agenda, it's these people. It's these crazy, broken-brained individuals like these trans Tifas and these radical communists trying to intimidate people into their ideology. And I'm not having it, and neither should you. Neither should you, folks. What is going on, Big Timber? Wolverines! Let's go! Let's go, brother. Good to see you here. Thank you for hanging out. The old bait and switch. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, trust me. I was very annoyed. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Press the wrong button because I do that all the time. I was very annoyed. I was very pissed off. There's a couple other videos here. Oh, we got to get this one. I'm going to... So,
this is Break the Chain.
So, hold on. So, folks, you saw it here first. Sorry, I gotta fix my hair because I'm vain as fuck and I gotta make sure I look good for this shit, you know? But here. Ready? So, this video here. I've got this this gutter goblin trans Tifa, this gutter goblin here, showing up, and I'm gonna feed this in. I'm gonna feed this part in to my openings to some of my live streams because I think it's just absolutely hilarious. How amazing do I get a promo from my enemies, right? From those that hate me, from those that call me names, from those that call me, you know, white supremacist, Nazi, scum, all this other trash, which isn't true. Any of that's trash, right? None of these words hold power anymore, right? Nazi doesn't hold power. White supremacist, none of that holds power because these people are fucking mentally ill. But I just love the fact that I can use this now as an opening for some of my live streams. So let's take a listen.
Hey, this is Break the Chains Media. There are a bunch of fucking white power pieces of shit, and fuck you! Promote anti-trans. Anti-trans gets me fucking killed.
Your behavior gets
white
you killed.
supremacist piece of shit in the right way without your phone.
I only started recording because she got angry.
Oh, I will! I will! Hey, this is Break the Chains Media. There are a bunch of fucking white power pieces of shit, and fuck you! Fuck you! And I will make certain you will run the fuck out of the city.
Your behavior
Nazi
is what
scumbag.
makes you get killed. The dangerous behavior that you have.
Like, can I say, is there anything else I need to say to that? Is there anything else I need to say to that? Your behavior as a radical trans ideologue and a trans individual who is obviously very mentally unwell, Exhibit A, right? Extremely mentally unwell. That's the behavior that gets these individuals killed, right? It just blows my mind. What's going on, Sherry? Appreciate you being here. Rock and roll. You get a treasure chest. Appreciate you being here. Big Timber. God, I love you. I miss you. I love you. Want some more of you, right? But no, these people are absolutely insane. But I got a couple more videos here. Yesterday was Red Dawn Day. You know, you got to shout out to the Wolverines. Wolverines got Big Timber in the house. So, you know, we're rocking and rolling. We got to fight against this radical communist takeover that's happening in our country and in our state right now. We have to embody the mindset, the willpower, the tenacity of these great heroes of this movie, Red Dawn, right? It might have been a Soviet communist takeover, but right now we're dealing with insurgents from within. These local communist trash that want to take over our institutions, that want to take over our positions of power, that want to abolish the Senate, that want to open borders, they want to abolish police force, they want to excise wealth taxes on all of us. This is absolutely insane. We cannot have it. This is how our nation falls from within if we don't get active in our agenda and our position to stand up against this evil, against this rot that's been taking over our country. Oh, Big Timber, you're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. Appreciate you. We get you a round of applause. Thank you. I do what I can, you know. Everyone's got their role to play here, right? Everyone has their role to play. I'm playing mine because that is what I do. That's what I'm about, right? And we have to stay persistent, stay vigilant, and expose these people for who they are. But let's go over here. I got a video. We got this is a it's in the comment. Or, I'm sorry, it's in the description of this live stream. If you want to see my interview with Jeff and Bill, it is here. It's on the Jeff and Bill show on YouTube. But let's take a listen here.
Fascists, Nazis, and not just protests. At this point, openly harassing the folks that run Drip Cafe. Well, Corey Blair, Break the Chains Media, went down Friday to see what's going on. I can't play the audio because it's so graphic and mean, but Corey has endured this now for a few trips down to see what's happening there. He joins us now. Corey Blair, Break the Chains Media, thanks for joining the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
So describe what happens down there, and what is the message that the communists are seeking to inflict upon the Drip Cafe?
Well, so the Drip Cafe down off of Santa Fe, the art district down there, the art walk on Santa Fe has been going down for like over 30 years, I believe. But just in the last 3 years, this is going on the third year now, actually, that these Denver communists have posted up in front of the Drip Cafe in very vocal opposition to this cafe on the basis that they are a Christian-operated coffee shop, and they obviously believe that these individuals are bigoted towards the trans and the homosexual community, which is an outright lie. It makes no sense. But this is their worldview. This is what they believe. So they feel that their efforts are well in place by accosting individuals who walk by, anyone who is a supporter of this cafe, and their whole goal is to try to have the coffee shop be shut down. They treat it in the same lens as, and this is coming from their words, what they said to me, or from what I heard in between them yelling at me. They said that they treat it the same way that Christians go towards the abortion clinics. They try to lens it in that same conversation, and I'm like, well, those who oppose the abortion clinics actually want to have conversations, and they're actually there from a place of love, and they want to try to educate people on the whys they're standing in front of abortion clinics, whereas these Denver communists are just literally full of nothing but hatred, nothing but vitriol, anger. They have a lot of self-work and self-help that they need to find within themselves. But these people are absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, so it goes on, and Jeff and Bill, we have a good back and forth for probably a good 20
minutes. They're on
minutes.
a public sidewalk. They're in a public place. Yada yada. However, yeah, they do accost and they do insult and interact with everyone going into the cafe and going out of the cafe, and they harass the workers. They harass the owners as he. I tried to record the owner as he was leaving. I mean, the owner has to leave with for lack of better terms, security, some sort of security force, or dudes. They all walked out together, and we are stronger in numbers, but
So yeah, it's a whole 20-minute segment, and I encourage everyone to go check it out. Like I said, it's in the live stream, it's in the comment down below the description of the video. But point I was trying to make here, the larger frame I'm trying to make here is yes, these individuals are coming from a position of hate and a position of control. And if they can't control it, they have to destroy it. So what we need to do as good Coloradans and good citizens of the community is to show up in force and peacefully arrive. We need to show up I like to say this, right? We need to show up like Gandalf at the dawn of the 5th day in Helm's Deep with the riders of the Rohirrim. We need to show up and arrive at Drip Cafe in an unsurmountable force against these communists who promote hate. We need to show up peacefully. We need to speak truth to power. We need to use our First Amendment rights. We need to support this cafe and show up in droves. Hundreds of people should be showing up there and saying, enough is enough. We are not accepting your hate campaign. We're not accepting your attacks and harassment to individuals who support this coffee shop. This is a Christian-run coffee shop, and whatever your beliefs are, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be destroying small businesses in an already difficult business community in Denver, and if the Denver police aren't going to be doing anything, and if the Denver DAs won't prosecute, if the Drip Cafe is backed into a corner because they don't have a legal way out, we need to show up in support in mass numbers to say enough is enough, and we will not accept your communist fascist tactics. It's ironic. It's extremely ironic that these communists call out fascist and Nazi, and yet they employ the same fascistic and Nazi tactics that were implemented in World War II against those who did not believe the party's policies. These people are mentally ill, they're deranged, and we have to show up in force better than them. We have to be taking the high road and say, no, we will not do this, and we will stand up against you, and we will shut down your bad behavior with good behavior. That's where I'm coming from. And shout out and give me a round of applause in the chat if you agree. Let's go. Come on. But no, this is it. Yeah, I just feel like there's so much more to be had here, and we could be doing a lot more. And at the end of the day, I want to show you this. I actually want to show you this picture, because this really is the energy, right? This is the energy that we have to understand. This is the long game that's actually taking place here, right? This is it. Okay. This is it. Can I not do that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Sorry, computer's being dumb, but yeah, right here. We'll just do it like this. Wow, folks. Absolutely wow. The wow factor. This is it, right? Okay, what's happening? Here, there we go. All right. This right here is the end goal of the takeover of America, right? These radical Islamists, radical Islam, is piggybacking and operating within the Democrat Party. These radical Democrat socialists of America, communists, they are the weapon. They are the broom that sweeps away American capitalism, American families, private property, and everything that's made America great. these radical communists and Democrat socialists, these DSA types, are the bulwark for radical Islam to walk in on a red carpet into America to then usher in a complete generational takeover of our country and our way of life. It is a long game that they're playing. These individuals understand that if they employ and they infect a political movement that can take over our American institutions, this is the long goal. And I refuse to see our country fall from within to radical ideologues sitting at the table together, right? Because funny thing is, eventually, the trans Tifas and these communists and these DSA types, they're going to be the first to go when we end up getting Sharia law and radical Islam ideology taking over in our country. And I don't want to see any of that happen. Islam and radical ideology does not mix with American culture and the foundations of our country and our founding principles of our nation. Look back to the founding fathers. Look back to how our country was formed. Look back to the documents that reflected a nation during our revolutionary period. Understand that they did everything they could do to stave off these evil and backwards thinking individuals from other parts of the world and other parts of the countries, right? And I'll say it unabashedly. These people do not mix with American policies, American culture. How do we have a society that is equality for all when they subjugate women, when they have child brides, when they are actively using subversion? They can lie to people. They can subvert the wills of others, and they use violence and killing as justification for their end goal. That is not America. That is not what's founded upon. We want equal rights. We want to have the most accessible nature for all of us to live in. Exactly, Jeff. All these people, they shout free Palestine. They shout free Palestine. Meanwhile, radical Islam and these jihadist types will throw gays off of buildings, stone women in the streets, and subjugate others. It's absolutely befuddling to me. And these communists belly up to these people. They sit together and they have a good old time together. I will not have it. I will not accept it. And it is not compatible with American culture and the future of our country. So we have to understand that this is the long game. The long game is these subversive and coercive tactics. And the people on the street that I was protesting peacefully, these people that were harassing me are just useful idiots. They are all just useful idiots in the long game to destroy America from within. These DSA types will institutionalize political policies that will embolden and protect the ground troops, these communists, these Antifa types, these trans Tifa types, to allow for more harassment campaigns to perpetuate, to then usher in a world where we see some of these radical Islamists and this jihad type, right? Globalize the intifada, right? That's something that they also say. Globalize the intifada. Excuse me. I'm just getting so heated up right now. But you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. It's frustrating, but I just want everyone to be aware that this is what we are up against, right? But yeah, so with that being said, we went on for a little bit more than I would like. But, it is what it is. It is live stream. Smash that thumbs up button. Be a part of the Chain Breakers here on Break the Chains Media. Let's go. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Because now we are wrapping into some local news, local information. We're going to wrap this one out with some local news because this is also equally important. just so much as it is equally important to understand the enemies from within and understand that these radical ideologues are going to be persistent in their efforts, we have to understand that there is also structured, institutionalized things taking place right now in our country and in our cities. Local city actions happening right now. So, with that being said, got some news here on the smart water meters. Smart water meters and the 2026 drought surcharges that are going to be, they're attempting to take place here in Arvada. So, folks, I don't know if you've been living under a rock. I don't know if you're unaware, but Colorado is in a bit of a drought, right? Colorado's been in a bit of a drought for quite a long time. We've got some ups and downs, but for the long term, for the long perspective, Colorado and this multi-state water compact, we've got a lot of water issues that are happening across Colorado and across the Midwest, right? Onto the western slope, right? So understanding the excuse me, understanding what's actually happening and understanding that they are trying to build policy around your water usage. And these 2026 drought surcharges are something that's happening in the city of Arvada City Council meetings. So if you are in the Arvada area, if you are in Arvada City proper, next week, Tuesday, the 17th. Wait, hold on. What day is it? What day am I living? Tuesday the 18th. Okay. If you're in Arvada, you need to show up next week at the City Council meeting, Tuesday, August 18th, because they're going to be talking about the drought surcharges that are going to be attempted to be taking place, okay? And they're going to start fining individuals for using too much water, folks. This is the world that we're living in. This is 100% part of the globalist agenda, Agenda 2030, trying to ration us, trying to nickel and dime us, trying to control every facet of our life, all in the name of environmentalism, all in the name of Mother Earth and saving the planet. Well, folks, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is we don't have enough water for the capacity of individuals living in our state. And the big thing is that they continue to build. They continue to build beyond their means. They continue to build out infrastructure, build multifamily houses, restrict our water, and claim that we don't have enough water, but at the same time, they're building more houses that are going to be taking more water. So they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth here, folks. But let's take a listen. This is actually some of the stats about their droughts and their projected droughts and how we're looking into the future. Historically low snowpack results and low storage. No shit, right? Tell me something I don't know. Statewide drought impacts, right? And we're talking, I mean, this is obviously a growing crisis and a growing concern, right? We have to be aware of this. But the bigger thing is that this multi-state water pact that takes place between Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, California, and Mexico. All of these individual states and countries take water from the Colorado River Basin. And now they're trying to nickel and dime the headwater state, Colorado. They're trying to say that we need to spend more money. We need to take more money from you if you use too much water, more than your allotted amount, right? And they've got the usage rate here. This is all a projected plan that they're trying to instill onto us, folks. So if you have the time and if you're able to show up next Tuesday, August 18th at Arvada City Council, they're going to be talking about the drought surcharge and what they need to do. But you know what they really need to do is they need to stop building beyond their means. We need to find better ways for water retention. We need to find better ways to build out our water supply, rather than building more businesses and houses that are going to be taking more water from us, right? And then you get into the conversation about the data centers. And we do have a 1-year moratorium, at least in Denver County, I believe it is. But at the end of the day, water is a crisis, right? The water thing is a real issue. And I just wanted to read some of these discussion points because this is absolutely ridiculous, right? Tonight's discussion points: preparation for the possibility of a multi-year drought, surcharges paired with watering restrictions to help customers understand the value of water. If approved, surcharges would be effective July 1st and remain for the remainder of the drought. Surcharges would be applied to the customers who reduce the most on irrigation and not base use. Impacts could range from $0 to $237. $18 on a typical residential, and on the remainder of the annual total bill. Folks, this is the government in action. This is a controlling government on our way of life. Rather than offering solutions, they just say, we're going to charge you more for using water. And now we actually have legal precedent for people getting in trouble with the law for watering their lawns. Colorado residents are ratting out neighbors over water use during drought. This is from the Washington Post just a few weeks ago. In Denver these days, it's brown lawns and versus the green. As Colorado dries up for a historic drought, scofflaws violating water restrictions have sparked tension throughout the state's largest metropolitan areas, turning residential streets into checkerboards of virtue and vice. The emerald green lawns of cheaters, now crispy brown grass. It's so, dude, all this, I'm sorry, like the fluff in these articles just piss me off, okay? With record hot temperatures following a winter of little snow, the city's utilities have asked residents to cut usage by 20% this summer and mandated that customers only water their lawns twice a week. Denverites have also failed to meet the moment with about 5% reduction in mid-July. And there's little relief for the forecast, with furnace-like heat dome that descended on the central United States expected to last throughout the week. More than 4,000 people have reporting neighbors for excess water usage, folks, for cheating on the restrictions this summer. We've got a snitch line in effect, okay? Snitch line in effect for using too much water. More than 90% of the state remains in a drought condition, according to Schumacher and the state climatologist and director of the Colorado Climate Center. Reservoirs are drying up in the Colorado River, which supplies water to states throughout the Southwest, and an all-time low in some measuring locations, he said. I mean, this is not unique to just Colorado either. I mean, we're talking about Lake Mead almost drying up. We're talking about other states throughout the runoff. We're all being affected by this, folks. And it comes down to this, right? This is, put on your tinfoil hats, because I'm going to throw something at you here. You know, there are theories and there's talks that the government has weather control devices, and they can manipulate the weather patterns to whether it be controlling hurricanes or producing snow or this, that, and the other. But for some reason, they just can't seem to make it rain. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting, folks? But here's the end thing at the end of the day, folks. This is what they're trying to get us to do, right? At the end of the day, they want a smart water meter on your house so that they can count every single drop you use. And then that can be reported back to the city, reported back to the state, and then they can follow up with whatever fines, penalties, and legal actions they might have against you. Okay? This here is the website called Badger Meter. Okay? And Badger Meter is a water smart meter that was also instituted in Puerto Rico many years ago. And now this Badger Meter is in talks to be implementing smart water meters for the city of Arvada. And I'm sure that they have other projected proposals in other parts of the state and the country. But folks, this is the world we're going into. We're going into a technocratic, Orwellian style metering of all of our utilities and of all of our needs. Okay, folks? Smart water meters from badgermeters.com. Okay? Absolutely. And it and it's all of this is just the same New World Order Agenda 2030 talking points, right? Sustainability reports now available. Badger Meters acquires UD Live Limited. Orion Cellular accredited under IoT. Internet of Things. Internet of Things is a huge thing that's working with this sustainable development goals of the UN. It all ties back into smart cities, smart metering, sustainable development goals, and this surveillance state on every aspect of our lives. I see you over there, Big Timber. Big Timber Lodge in the chat says, here's a theory for you. There is no water shortage. If there was, they would stop building houses and apartments. You know, that's actually a very interesting angle to take because, you know, why is it that the city council shows up and tells us that we've got all of this record level of drought and we've got to stop our water usage and all this woo-woo and all this danger chicken little the sky is falling narrative, but at the same time they're building 300 500 unit apartments, they're blowing out residential complexes, suburban sprawl is out the charts and moving in every direction across the metro and up and down the Front Range, but yet somehow we're still running out of water. Why is that, right? Very strange. And obviously, you know, you could talk about the upper the higher elevations, right? The mountain communities. There is low snowpack, right? There is no denying that we haven't seen, you know, a winter in a long while. Like last winter wasn't even really anything to report on. However, like I said, it comes back to my conversation regarding with the tinfoil hat. You know, if this was such a dire problem, they do already create artificial snow and they create microclimates for the ski communities up in the mountains. They can create snowfall for those rich ski communities so they can get their $1,000 lift tickets, right? But for us down, you know, just doing the day-to-day water usage, you know, we're in a drought. We got to struggle. We're struggling here, folks. Big problems ahead. So I just wanted to bring this. I just wanted to bring this to light. We've got some reports here, and you know, the fact that they developed a snitch line for water usage. It's very reminiscent of the snitch line about tattling on your neighbors during COVID, right? They're not wearing a mask. They're having a party. They've got more than 10 people in their household or whatever the heck it was, right? Same kind of conversation taking place. But now they're talking about water. And water is vital. Water is universal. And everyone has a right to water. But now the government is getting their grimy little hands involved. And now they're going to nickel and dime us for every drop we take. And on top of that, they're dropping smart water meters on us as well. So keep an eye out. And if you're in the Arvada area, show up next Tuesday, August 18th at City Council. Check it out and show up and be active in your community, because if you're not active in your community, next thing you know, we're going to be living in a pod and eating the bugs. You know what I'm saying, folks? We have to be actively vigilant against this globalist, technocratic, Orwellian 1984 surveillance state that's being imposed on us on every avenue and every aspect. Every single aspect. Absolutely, guys. I appreciate all you guys in the live stream. Appreciate y'all on Rumble. Appreciate everyone checking out the stream. But, folks, we are wrapping this up. And like I said, make sure you check me out on X. Got all the videos here on X if you want to check any of the videos out here. I'm on Instagram, Break the Chains Media on Instagram. The YouTubes, the X account, the Facebooks, the Rumbles, all the good people here. You can go to breakthechains.media. That is the website. That is the landing page. All the socials are there. If you want to pick up a bottle of hot sauce and support your boy, check out Realm Walker Hot Sauce on Instagram or shoot me a DM on any of the socials there. But folks, this is wrapping up the live stream. I thank you all for being here, and I'm going to be making some other videos. I'm going to be putting out some more content. Stay tuned because I have some other, like I said at the beginning of the stream, one of these Denver communists, we got some intel on this individual. We got some information that I think needs to be addressed to the public. If this Denver communist thinks that capitalism is bad, you know, why is he living in a multi-million-dollar home? Excuse me. You know, why is he able to rake in all the money? You know, why is he able to afford all of these things? Why is he a professor at one of the universities indoctrinating children? You know, so I've got some things in the work on that. I've also got some things in the works regarding illegal immigrants and migrants working for the Medicaid system. And I see that there is a lot of creative accounting that takes place when it comes to our Medicaid department and our Medicaid funding and how these people are potentially being employed with our tax dollars through Medicaid. Very interesting times indeed, folks. But that is going to be wrapping up this live stream. And don't forget, don't be gay, folks. Don't be gay. You know, you can use that in the colloquial sense of, you know, let's just not, you know, you're being gay, dude. Come on. Why don't you grow a pair? Why don't you be a man? Why don't you nut up or shut up, right? Or, you know, it could also be like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be so actively hateful in your attacks against a Christian coffee shop. You know, that's pretty gay, man. That's pretty gay. But we are landing the plane here now, and I'm gonna just be sending y'all over to the Beanie compound because that is what we can do here. That is what we can do, at least on Rumble. And without further ado, folks, I do appreciate everyone being here. Like I said, share this live stream with anyone and everyone in Colorado. I do think that this information is important to share to all of the individuals in the Mile High Centennial State. Folks, thank you all for being here, and we'll see you soon. Check out, I'm thinking about doing a live stream tomorrow about the guns and all the current state of political affairs here in Colorado. So without further ado, I appreciate you all being here. I love you. I thank you. And as always, fight for freedom and never give up.